We are following several breaking news stories tonight on ABC 17 News at 5. We have crews standing by live in Columbia and Audrain County covering 3 actively developing situations tonight.
We'll break down some new details released about how a 19-year-old died in Audrain County yesterday, and we'll also check in on operations at the University of Missouri's campus after that bomb threat this afternoon.
And we will get to those stories in just a few minutes, but first we need to get straight to ABC 17's Barry Mangold, who joins us live from the scene of a scattered and smoking fire in Audrain County. Barry, firefighters are still working to get the flames under control right now.
Yeah, Ashley and Lucas, no one was inside this home when it was burning, but the house is completely destroyed. You can still see the flames burning behind me on the remains of the home. And officials tell me that weather conditions played a large role on how this fire spread. And take a look. This is some of the video that we got when we first arrived on scene. And you can see 30 to 40 mile-per-hour winds carrying this fire east, causing 2 separate grass fires. One was next to a lake by the property. The other one was about a mile away on County Road 108. Fire crews tell me that they were mainly fighting this fire defensively because of that wind and because a propane tank was on the property. So they had to factor that in and work around it. And here's a lesson that they drew from today's damage.
We just ask people not to be burning today or any days where we have winds conditions like this. Even accidental things can cause issues. Okay. And if you are burning and you cause property damage to someone else's property, you are held liable for that. So people need to really stop and think before they light a fire on days like today.
And as for what started this fire, officials tell me that it started in a shed that was on the property, then moved to the house, and then was carried downwind to start those 2 other separate grass fires. As for what started that initial shed fire, well, at this time, it's not clear. Reporting live in Audrain County, Barry Mangold, ABC 17 News.
And gusty winds and dry conditions contributed to that fast-moving fire in Audrain County. For more on how long these conditions and heightened fire risk will last, let's send things over to ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray. Sharon.
Yes, we're still seeing those wind gusts this evening, but they are going to die down. In fact, right now, the wind gusts are at 21 in Columbia, 24 at Moberly. We've seen them as high as 40 miles an hour today, and that wind is going to continue to be pretty breezy this evening with those very dry conditions and the low humidity. Certainly, that is why that fire did spread so quickly today. This is Wind Tracker, and these are sustained wind speeds at 5 o'clock this evening. Notice how those are still blowing pretty good, between 10 and 15 through about midnight, and then those winds gradually die down, and we'll see much lighter winds tomorrow coming in from the north. It'll still be quite dry tomorrow, but we'll have a few more clouds, and the winds will be much lighter. Those winds warmed us up today. Those temperatures did climb. We are currently at 53 degrees in Columbia, at a 54 at Prairie Home, in Jeff City 55 right now. While we're in the 50s now, those temperatures are going to fall pretty fast this evening. We have a mostly clear sky. That's a live look at the Lake of the Ozarks right now, where temperatures this evening will dip. We're going to drop down to 40 degrees here by 9 o'clock tonight, and that wind's still blowing. You can see how it's still up above 15 miles an hour. So we're going to be talking about wind chills again, and this evening that wind's going to get pretty cold. By 11 o'clock, it'll feel like 26 degrees. We did have a cold front go through today. That's to the south of us now, and north of us, we have some clouds heading in our direction. Those will increase tonight and tomorrow, and it is going to be a lot colder here for your Thursday. Temperatures tomorrow are only in the 30s. What a difference from those mild numbers we had today. Tomorrow, we only reach 39 degrees at Columbia and Jefferson City, 38 Boonville through Mexico and Fulton. So pretty cold winter-like day, especially with all those clouds around. But we won't have as much wind. The wind will be much lighter tomorrow. In the ABC 17 Storm Track 7-day forecast, you'll notice the temperatures go back up again, and it's going to be a little breezy Saturday with 57 degrees. Sunday, there is a chance of rain, and we did bump that up a bit. It does look like we have the better chance of getting some rain Sunday, especially in the early part of the day, where we could pick up to a 1/4 inch of rain. So when I come back here in my next weather, I'll show you Rain Tracker. I'll show you who's going to see the most rain with that, the timing with Future Track, and a look to that weekend forecast.
And now back to that breaking news we first told you about at the top of this newscast. In the last hour, Audrain County authorities have said a 19-year-old homicide victim died after losing too much blood. The
Sheriff's Department held a news conference on the investigation this afternoon that just wrapped up. ABC 17's Deborah Kendrick joins us live from the Audrain County with what authorities say they know about the death so far. Deborah, they say there are some challenges with this particular investigation.
Yeah, that's right, Lucas. You know, Sheriff Aller really started off the press conference by saying that this case is particularly very confusing just because the amount of information they still have yet to find, and also with the short timeline that they have to work with, about 30 minutes of a timeline. Now, the sheriff said investigators are working on that 30-minute timeline of where Jefferson was. Now, they said he was at the Walmart in Mexico around 11:30 yesterday, and then he ended up on County Road 913 around 12:02 in the afternoon. And this all started when emergency responders got a call about a car fire and a man down on the road. Jefferson was found lying on the ground. Now, his injuries were not from the car crash. Investigators say the cause of his death was actually from excessive loss of blood, but they would not specify on what exactly happened for him to lose all that blood. They said they did find a weapon on scene, but they would not specify as to what that weapon was. Of course, they said they are really needing the help of the public as far as trying to get the most information.
We're exploring every possibility as far as what happened. The scene and the evidence at the scene, along with the injuries, make it very unclear as to what happened.
Now, I did get to talk with some of the family briefly earlier today, and they told me that Jefferson is originally from New Orleans, and he moved to Mexico. They, of course, are wanting answers as to what exactly happened, and the sheriff also emphasized the importance of the public coming forward and trying to get the family some closure. Now, if you know anything about Jefferson's whereabouts yesterday, you are urged to call the Mid-Missouri Major Case Squad at 573-473-5801 at extension 1504, or of course you can call Crime Stoppers to remain anonymous. We're reporting live here in Audrain County. Deborah Kendrick, ABC 17 News.
All right, thank you, Deborah. The sheriff's office says about 30 investigators from 12 different agencies are following leads in the case. Columbia police are still looking for at least one person after they say an East Columbia home invasion turned into a homicide. Our crews got this video of officers talking to neighbors in the Old Hawthorne subdivision today. Today, investigators said they think the killing was drug-related and say the home on Lasso Circle was targeted. We've told you police found Augustus Roberts non-responsive there on Monday morning. He later died, but police have not said what killed him. Tonight, police are asking neighbors to let them know if they have security footage or remember seeing anyone suspicious.
Also breaking tonight, within the last 30 minutes, police have given the all clear after investigating a bomb threat near the Hearn Center. The threat forced police to evacuate an area around the center's bus shuttle stop. ABC 17's Taylor Petras joins us live from the bus stop. And Taylor, police say right now there is no threat to campus.
Says it received information about a possible explosive device on that bus. Officers were given the bus number and were able to track it down here on its route. I did confirm with the city's Public Works Department that it was a city bus running on a campus route. The department wouldn't go into details about how they were notified of the possible explosive device on board the bus. MUPD's K-9 was called in to search the bus after everyone on board was evacuated. Of course, there was nothing suspicious found on it. Police say they are now talking to people to figure out exactly what happened. Right now, I'm told officers are not looking for any suspects at this time, but we will continue to check in with University Police for the latest on this investigation and bring you any updates that we may get. For now, reporting live in Columbia tonight, Taylor Petras, ABC 17 News.
Taylor, thank you. We'll keep working to find out exactly what triggered this threat, and we'll let you know when we confirm more details.
Tonight, police are still looking for a shooting suspect who triggered an hours-long standoff in central Columbia. It started after a 30-year-old woman showed up at a gas station overnight with a gunshot wound to her foot. She told police she was in a relationship with the man who shot her and says it happened at a home on Fur Place. Police went to arrest the suspect and eventually called in a SWAT team when he refused to talk to them. The SWAT team stormed the home but did not find the man. Tonight, police are still looking for the suspected shooter. They say the victim's injuries are considered non-life-threatening. And tonight we are checking back in with Jefferson City Police on the investigation into an attempted kidnapping. We told you a man reportedly tried to pull a child off her bike and into his car last week. It happened in the Hazleton-Allen Drive area as the child was biking to West Elementary School. We asked police about the case today, who say they have no new information to report right now. They're looking for a red Ford pickup truck with the letters FX on it. It also reportedly had a Missouri license plate with the number 8 at the end.
We're checking back in on the status of a Callaway County hospital as it transitions to new management. We told you Fulton Medical Center almost closed its doors due to low patient numbers. Instead, a healthcare management company bought the hospital to keep it running. A spokesperson for Fulton Medical Center says the transition process is moving forward. She says staff is working to grow its provider base and hire more nurses. The hospital's new name will be Christian Memorial Hospital, but a spokesperson says it hasn't been formally changed just yet. It appears a judge has denied a motion for a Columbia man accused in a deadly shooting. Rick Gurley is accused of shooting and killing Cameron Carruthers on Don Ridge Road in East Columbia back in May. He's held on federal charges for unlawful possession of a weapon. Gurley is a convicted felon, making it illegal for him to have or own a gun. We told you earlier this week, Gurley's attorney asked a judge to reconsider keeping Gurley in custody. We checked, and court records show a judge denied the request.
Coming up on ABC 17 News at 5, where the news comes first.
Republican Roy Moore is not yet accepting defeat in Alabama's race for U.S. Senator. Coming up, hear how close the results were and what Moore is now considering.
It seems to me, since we lived in Columbia, there have been quite a few homicides. We were kind of surprised the number of homicides that we hear about since we moved here.
And new at 6 tonight, find out what Columbia neighbors are saying after learning a homicide in Old Hawthorne is drug-related.